Good morning, grade 3. How are you? Okay, this is the science subject. We're gonna start with lesson 1 in chapter 9. Okay, the first page that we're gonna start with is page 364, and the lesson is gonna talk about properties of matter and what is matter. Okay, so first of all, let's start with a general idea about matter. Everything that is around us in the world that comes in different colors and different sizes, okay, is a matter. Even you, humans, are matter. So matter is anything that takes up space. If you put a book on a table, it will take a space of the book. So a book is a matter. And even the air that you breathe is a matter, because if I blow a balloon, I'm putting air inside it. Okay, so this air is taking its space in this balloon. So everything around us is a kind of matter because it has its own space. Let's move to page 365. We're done with the matter, and we said that it takes space. We're gonna move into the second word, which is volume. Okay, so volume, we said that matter makes up space. So this space differs from different matters. This volume can be big and this volume can be small. It refers to the object we're talking about. If the space of this object or if this matter is big, it means it has a big volume. And if this space that this matter is taking is small, it means it has a small volume. A volume is different than a mass. A mass can be measured of the amount of matter inside an object. If I look in the picture here, I would see two balls. Both of them are matters. The big one has a bigger volume, the small one has a smaller volume. But it doesn't mean that the smaller one has a smaller mass. Maybe the opposite. If this ball is an iron ball, obviously it will has more mass than the ball that is just has inside it air. So things that are very heavy, they have many mass, okay, or has a big mass, okay, and the things that are very light, they have a small mass. So mass is the amount of object inside it. If I cut this iron ball into half, I can see that it's full of things inside. But if I cut this ball into half, I would see that it's empty. So things that are empty from inside, they have a small mass. And things that are full from inside, they're gonna be with a big mass. Okay, let's go to the word property. The word property means the characteristics of the matter itself. Some matters, they have different tastes, they have different looks, different shapes, different colors, even different sounds. Anything may, even if you touch it, you may find the matters are different. Some are smooth, some are rough, some are spiky. So properties are the characteristic. Here are some properties in the below table. They talk about colors, about the shape, about how they feel, about the taste, for example, if I'm talking about a fruit or something like that. So matter around us have different properties. It means they have different characteristics. Let's go to page 366. What are some properties of matter? How can I differentiate between the matters around us? So the properties of a matter make them different, okay? So one or the first Um, the first property that I can use it to describe or to differentiate matter is how they sink and they float. We know that if I throw something in the water, it may go up or it may go down. If I look in the picture here, I will see this floater floater wheel, okay? And I know if I put it in the water, it will not go down. It will just float on the top of the water. If I look on this iron anchor, I will see that it's very heavy and it will not float on the top of the water, but it will go down very deep in the water, which I can conclude that matters or things that are made up of big matter, okay, or big mass, that they are full from inside with a big mass, they're gonna go down or sink. And things that are with a very light mass inside them, they will float on the top. As this example, it is empty from inside, so it will float. The anchor, if I cut it, I will see it's full of iron from inside, so it will sink down. If you'd like to highlight like me, metal objects usually sink, while wooden objects, they can float. So as I said, if their mass is big, and even if their volume is big, they're gonna float, okay? So if their mass is small and their volume is big, so they're gonna float, okay? So let me do it again. Things with a big mass, they're gonna sink, and things with a small mass, they're gonna float. Let's go to the other characteristic, which is magnetism. Magnetism have a special property. So what is magnetism? Magnetism is coming from the word magnets. Magnets attract or stick things that are iron or metal. So some matters around us, they have this characteristic, that they have the magnetism characteristic. They can attract things. So they attract it if it is made up of metal, such as iron. But of course, they will not attract things that are made up of wood or plastic or water. The last property is conducting heat. We know that some matter, they conduct heat, that they pass heat through them. Like the cooking pot, it's made up of iron, and iron is a kind of metal. So metal can easily pass heat inside them, which is a good example for cooking. But I can't use a wooden pot to cook inside it something, because a wood or a wooden matter is not a good example for passing heat through it. Okay, let me repeat the three properties that I can use them to differentiate matter. First of all, the sinking and floating, magnetism, conducting heat. Okay, let's go to the last page. What is matter made up of? If I go and I take a look in the passport you have, I might see that your name is made up of your first name, your dad's name, and your family name, okay? Made up of 3 names. So your name has the 3 elements. The same like a matter. A matter can be made up of 1 element or many elements, okay? So elements are like building blocks. Like your name, it's made up of, or it's built of 3, okay, 3 names. Okay, a matter can be built by 1 block, 2 blocks, or many. So building blocks are the kind of elements that made up the matter. Okay, so here are some matter like an iron. It mostly contains the element iron. Okay, so here the example for iron, it shows you that mostly iron are made up of one element. If I go down to the water, water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. It means it is made up of two elements. What about sugar? Sugar is made up of hydrogen, oxygen, and the third element is carbon. So hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon make three elements. So see, in the things around us, like sugar, like water, like iron, they are made up of maybe one element, maybe two, maybe three, maybe more. So it differs according to the matter itself. This is our lesson for this week. Please make sure if there are any questions, we are ready to answer.